The girl was still asleep. Her body was slowly sliding down. Beneath her was a vast expanse of sky tens of thousands of meters high. Falling from this height, not even a trace would be left. She sensed something was wrong and woke up instantly. But it was already too late. She could only let her body roll, falling toward the endless abyss. Just then, something unexpected happened. She slowly opened her eyes. Unexpectedly, the girl's pupils suddenly dilated. She rose abruptly, grabbing the rope tightly. Her heart pounded wildly. Only then did she realize she was at an altitude of tens of thousands of meters. The only thing keeping her from falling was the hemp rope before her. She tried to call for help from the man, but he was curled up in the basket, silent. Worse still, the ice on the rope was slowly melting. The girl was slipping bit by bit due to the slickness. Falling from this height, not a scrap would remain. She desperately swung her legs, wanting to use this to get back. Through continuous effort, she finally approached the basket. The girl used all her strength to kick it. Then her body was flung far away, finally reaching the rope with the help of inertia. The girl stared intently at the man in the corner, using every ounce of strength to flip into the basket. Before she could catch her breath, she crawled toward him, calling the man's name over and over, but it was already too late. The girl couldn't believe it, and slowly moved closer. There was no heartbeat. Just as she was about to despair, the man miraculously woke up. Looking at the girl's bruised and battered hands, and the hot air balloon that had returned to normal, he knew she had climbed to the top of the balloon to close the valve. The two who had survived the ordeal excitedly discussed their future. But soon after, they suddenly noticed the snowflakes that had been falling were now stationary, and finally, as if under a spell, they began to float upward. The girl then realized it wasn't about the snow at all. The hot air balloon was descending so fast that it was catching up with the falling snowflakes. At this rate, they would definitely be smashed to pieces. She yelled at the man to throw things out, sandbags, rescue ropes. Nothing mattered now when lives were at stake. They threw out everything, even heavy coats. But the balloon's descent only grew faster, and the basket was now empty. With the ground approaching rapidly, the man told the girl to climb onto the ring, grabbing a dagger and following suit. He intended to cut off the heaviest part, the basket. Surely this would slow their descent. As the man soared faster and faster, the basket's ropes were severed one by one, until only two remained. Watching the ground draw nearer, the man grew more anxious. Unexpectedly, he lost his grip, and the two nearly fell out. The girl hadn't expected that the usually bookish nerd would prove so reliable in a crisis. As the last rope was cut, the balloon's speed gradually slowed. But the experienced girl knew it wasn't enough. The speed was still too fast. From such a height, neither of them could survive. To the man's astonishment, the girl resolutely stood on the edge of the iron ring. She was willing to risk her life to buy the man a chance to live. The man collapsed, begging her to stop, but she couldn't be held back. Just as the determined girl looked toward the balloon, she suddenly thought of something. Without time to explain, he shouted, "Either we both die, or we both live." Before the girl could react, he grabbed the rope securing the balloon and cut it. The hot air balloon instantly transformed into a parachute, descending slowly. Having cheated death, the two could hardly contain their excitement. Before they could celebrate, new trouble arose, but this time, the two were no longer afraid. Holding hands, they fearlessly plunged toward the forest. After an unknown amount of time, the two finally woke up. Limping, they rushed toward each other, then helped each other walk in the direction of home.